My name is David So Jinho. I'm 34, born in 1987. I was born in Korea, and I moved to the States with my family in 1995. I actually remember the exact date. It's July 14th, 1995, and I don't know how I remember that. I think if I ask my brother, he's not going to remember it, but it was July and we landed in Louisiana, so it was it was hot. I was very excited. I couldn't wait to see America when I was a kid, but that didn't last very long because I think I cried every day after school for like a week straight, telling mom, I want to go back. This sucks. You have the first generation Koreans, and then you have the second generation Koreans. But I noticed that a lot of people, when we're having these conversations, they don't think about people like me, the 1.5s, the 0.5s, right? I'm not entirely comfortable identifying with my Koreanness. I'm not entirely comfortable identifying with my Americanness. It's easiest to make friends with other 1.5 generation Koreans. Let's say I'm with a group of Korean students at a KSA meeting at college, right? Part of me was always like outside of that interaction, because even though my Korean's good, I think in English and then have to translate it into Korean before it comes out of my mouth, right? So there's a separate mental process that happens in my head before I engage my Korean friends. That is not to say that I don't understand what it means to be Korean or what it means to be American. In fact, I would say that I'm probably extremely well situated to understand both cultures as well as one could simultaneously. My job is in insurance. I run an insurance brokerage, and a lot of my clients are Korean Americans and Korean immigrants. So what I do is I broker these insurance policies that can be arcane, especially if you don't speak the English language. Working with Korean immigrants, it's both a challenge and an opportunity. It's like an undeveloped market still. Last year, in February, Houston had this terrible winter storm. We don't know how to deal with winter conditions here in Houston, so we had a ton of pipes burst, water everywhere. Instead of my clients calling me about a claim, it was me reaching out to them saying, hey, I put this coverage in your package that pays for your business income while you're shut down. Did you know that you could file for spoilage for all of your damaged inventory? Like, I had to hold their hands throughout this entire claims process, which is not something that agents are, excited to do, but for me and the community that I serve, this is required. So I plan to, start here in Houston and expand my operations all along the Gulf Coast because there's a lack of quality bilingual agents. So I want to help foster that, like a healthy business environment for immigrant communities, not just Koreans too. I want to hire and develop multiethnic, multilingual workforce in my company too. It's incredible to be able to provide value in my own way by doing what I do to those people and repay their kindness. So my dad and my mom, they met in church in Daejeon, 대흥침례교회, and my dad wanted to go to seminary in the States. He was 40 when he decided to go to school in a completely different country with 2 kids in tow. So yeah, my dad's a pastor. My mom, she's a 사모님. And yeah, that's had an impact on my life in America for sure. An incredible impact. The demands of an immigrant church toward its pastor and his family it can be quite difficult. The immigrant church community not only is it a place of worship for Christians, it serves as a community center for immigrants, whether or not you're a Christian. So you get people from all sorts of backgrounds, all sorts of beliefs, faiths, because of the drastic differences that can arise from that setting. There can be some painful moments, a lot of drama for my parents, mostly, and for me. I was very carefree when I was a kid. I didn't really pay attention to all of these things. This is just something that I've only realized later in my 20s and my early 30s. My parents served this church in Baton Rouge, Louisiana for 21, 22 years. And then my dad had to resign unceremoniously because of some conflicts in the church. And I think everything that I had absorbed without thinking about it kind of hit me at that moment. Man, why do these Korean churches suck, How could they do this to my parents? This one person went around the church getting a petition signed for a temporary restraining order against my dad. And my dad just resigned, saying that it's God's will. And yeah, it took me a long time to come to terms with that because, how is it possible for members of this Korean church organization to all of a sudden do that? Isn't there a process? How can you just get a few signatures and kick out my dad like that after 22 years of service? I don't know how my parents made peace with it, but they were very calm and accepting of that situation, and that made me even more angry, But that, I guess, finally gave my parents and I some time to spend together. Whenever I would go back to Baton Rouge, they wouldn't be at church all the time, I'd just go visit them, I could eat with them, I could help mom at the store, it's like getting to know my parents again in a new light. I'm 34 now, so 3 years ago was when I realized, oh, this is how old my dad was when he had me, that moment of realization. And then you start to think, okay, well, I don't think I'm going to have a lot of time with my parents. 10 years, 20 years. Plus, I live in Houston, they live in Louisiana. How many hours am I going to spend with them? It's not a lot. So right now, I'm actually going back to Louisiana on a weekly basis to visit them. My mom's business has been thriving, and there's a lot of inventory in Houston, distributors here, where I can pick up inventory, and my agency has a footprint in Louisiana. I'm building my base out there too, because my goal is to expand all along the Gulf Coast, and Louisiana is the next step. But I really do enjoy spending time with them. I didn't really think seriously about our relationship. But then after moving to Houston, and some of the toughest moments of my life was realizing that, oh man, I have nobody here in Houston. Being alone in a big city over the years kind of helped me realize that, wow, these relationships are so special, And it all started with my parents. Yeah, the difficulty of being out here kind of helped me mature as a person, and that in turn made me want to seek out a renewed relationship with my parents. We talk a lot more, There used to be stretches of months where I wouldn't talk to them, but now, I talk to them every 2-3 days. We text each other all the time, just, interacting more. And now that I am going back to church to try to be a good Christian, it's kind of lifted a barrier between my mother and I. I'm able to speak more comfortably in that context. Whereas, in my 20s, whenever my mom would mention church or God or Jesus, I'm like, my eyes are rolled all the way back here, and Mom, just cool it, Mom. I don't want to hear it. So that kind of cut our conversation short. Whereas now, I'm able to engage her, and we're able to have serious conversations. I get to find out more about my mother. And my brother and I, since he has 2 kids, what we talked about was, the importance of a strong family foundation, especially as an immigrant family, right? We talked about how traumatizing it was for us to be uprooted from Korea and thrust into this entirely new environment. And I'm sure, like, if I digest it more, there's gonna be like some significant impacts on who I am, like just changing me as a person, as a character. The more I live and the more I experience this world, relationships are what matters. And out of those relationships, family matters the most. We're like lost ships in a vast ocean. As a Korean American immigrant here, we have to hang on to each other. We have to create that strong family foundation. It's tough, but we have to be forgiving and understanding, and we have to support each other. And I think that's the biggest meaning I've gleaned in the 25 years that I spent in America. I think I'm extremely appreciative of my immediate family and the family that I made here. The people that supported me and stuck with me despite my shortcomings. They were kind and loyal, and yeah, that's the family that this Korean American experience gave to me, and I'm extremely grateful for that. My name is David So, and this is my Korean American story.